Hey, well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dave coming to you from the fire pit here in the backyard of Southern Maryland. It's about 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. It's about 40, 42 degrees. It's supposed to be raining by now, so I didn't think I'd be able to come out and do this with you, but I decided to try to sneak one in. It was supposed to start raining at 2. Hasn't started raining yet. So thought we'd come out here and see if we couldn't get a fire in for an hour, hour and a half before the storm gets here. Hey guys, let's show you what I'm smoking today. So I'm smoking my old Partagas Black. You know I'm in Maryland when I'm smoking Partagas Black. Anyway, one of my favorites. I am happy to report that Lauren got home last night. Her flight arrived at Baltimore on time. We got home safely last night. So my daughter is home for a month. Pretty nice. She was pretty tired after finals week, but we had a nice chat during dinner last night, and then I just saw her now. She kind of slept in till like 2 or 3 o'clock today, and I just saw her for about a half hour. So great, so nice. She'll be turning 22 here in a couple of weeks, and just nice to have real conversations with my adult kids. That happens with Sean quite a bit, but not as much with Lauren because she's gone so much of the time, and I don't see her like I do Sean every time I drive to Wyoming and back. So I haven't done a Partagas Black in a while, so I just want to remind everybody the Partagas Black is bold, man. It is bold plus. It's strong, it's bold, it's in your face, it's spicy. You got to be careful on the retrohale, it'll burn you, but it is a great cigar. A little bit bigger than most people like. It's probably a 60. I think it's a 6x60. I know a lot of people don't like that 60 ring gauge, but I do like it. And I do like the spiciness and the boldness of this cigar. So Partagas Black. That'll be the end of the cigar speech. That's really about all I know about it. It's one of my favorites, though. It's one of my top 10. I keep it in you've seen in the Maryland paddock, I've got those Tupperdoors, and I've got my top 10 and honorable 4, so I keep about 14 of them in stock. And then I put several of them in the desktop humidor because that's what I smoke out of, is my desktop humidor. And I had not been tending my Bovita packs very well, so my Bovita packs had started to get behind, so I put new ones in yesterday, but the cigars are a little bit drier than I normally like. So I've had a good day. Nice, quiet, slow Sunday morning. Slow it down because it's, not a weekday, and I know my wife and daughter stayed up really late, so I don't think Amber even came down until 9 o'clock this morning. And spent a couple hours with her, and then probably from 11 to 4 went over to the paddock. The Germans love heading over there, so went over there and spent about 4 hours at the paddock, just getting my trading prep done for tomorrow. It's nice to have it done on Sunday afternoon, so when I come in Monday morning, a lot of it's done. So I'm waiting for funds transfers to occur, ACHs to occur, and then I'll continue to layer into crypto. As I've told you, it's really XRP, XLM, and Flare. Those are the 3 I'm looking at right now. It doesn't mean it'll be the only 3, but those are the 3 I'm kind of focused on right now. Those 3 were down a little bit over the weekend, so they were on like 1 to 5% on sale. So I'm trying to pick up a few more today. I've got orders in. If they drop a little bit, I'll buy. I like to buy this stuff on sale if I can. Anyway, got over here, did a couple of honeydews, had a half hour with Lauren, and I'm out here with you. So absolutely nothing but a great day so far. So it's Sunday afternoon. Sean comes home Thursday evening. Then I get him home for 3 weeks. So we'll be a full family, all 4 of us in the house for almost a month. So pretty exciting. At least 3 weeks. It's pretty exciting for me. The big challenge for me is to make sure the kids enjoy it. So when they leave, they go, "Wow, that was a great time at home. Can't wait to come back." And not, "Holy shit, that was so boring. I don't want to do that anymore." So work pretty hard to make sure mornings or evenings are fun for them. It's a nice cigar. I enjoy it quite a bit. So I think my 10-year-old cream white golden retriever Chance, I think Amber and I have been talking. We think he's starting to get dementia. Starting to bark at things that aren't there. He starts to wander down a hallway and forget why he's going down the hallway. Sometimes he'll go in a room and can't figure out why he's there or how to get out. So, although I do a lot of those similar things, so maybe I'm getting dog dementia too. But anyway, we think Chance's brain. He's never been very sharp. He's pretty much been a retard his whole life. But it's certainly worse now. He's almost 11, so the last year you can really see changes in him. Hey, Potter Piper looked good in his video today. His Secret Santa opening. He looked good. Jilly looked good. I love that the window's open and Jilly's he's on guard out that window. And Potter Piper's cellar room is looking real good too. So anyway, I just thought it was a nice video. It was good to see him online, and he hasn't been on a whole lot, but he looked and sounded good in today's video, that's for sure. So nice job, Potter Piper. So we can talk about drones again for a minute. Now, I don't know if I believe the story yet, but the story that I'm starting to hear is that it's really they're nuke sniffers, and they're essentially looking for a dirty bomb, and I don't know how true that is. Some people say, well, if that was true, they'd be looking 24 hours a day, and I don't know if that's true. They just don't want to fly those things just anywhere. They want to fly them where they have intel where things might be. So I think that's what they're doing. The other thing I think that you're seeing them training drone pilots and training um, autonomous drones and follow the leader technology. So I think you're seeing three kinds of training going on there. We're training our pilots, we're training the AI, and we're training the follow the leader concept. So and they might actually be on missions. I don't know if they're on training missions or on actual missions, but I think you'll find out. You'll see as the next few weeks go on. One, I think you'll see it drop out of the news, but I think you'll find out that it's us flying our own drones over our own airspace, either as a training mission or they actually, I think there's some intel. I'm starting to get some scuttlebutt that, with as open as the southern border has been, they've probably slipped a couple things in on us. Kind of out of that world now officially, but those are the things of the scuttlebutt I'm starting to hear. So Carolina Rose and I had a little bit of a conversation the other day about over comments. One thing that I'm a little bit concerned that, she said, well, I'm gonna hopefully God, we're gonna pray to God and we'll turn back to God and God will help the United States. And my comment back, and the comment I want to make here is that I'm more concerned that God is taking his hand off of the United States. I think, at this point, we've turned, as a nation, not as individuals, but as a nation, we've turned our back on him enough that he has taken his hand off of our country. The removal of prayer in schools, the removal of just about anything that has anything to do with him out of any of our government buildings or properties. Hell, we don't even open legislative sessions with Christian prayer anymore. So I just think we've done an awful lot to take him away. And I've felt for decades that we have confused the concept of freedom of religion and the separation of church and state into freedom from religion. People feel like they should have to never be touched, listened to, hear, or be around religion. And freedom of religion that's not what it means. It means you can believe that the government will not dictate what you choose to believe. It does not mean that the government will guarantee you never come in contact with religion. I think we've really screwed that up. And I think the separation of church and state was that the government can't dictate your religion and religion can't dictate the government. It wasn't meant to be the two should never touch. And I think it's become a nation governed by less and less God-involved people and God-involved process. I'm where he's going to continue to remove his hand further and further from us and say, hey, you don't want me around, I'm good with that. I'll move on. All right, enough of all that. Sorry. Hey, one thing, a couple people asked me about CEO school, and I didn't know if they meant you just like hearing general CEO school type things like I've been just throwing in the fireside chats, or if you actually wanted to talk about, becoming someone who wants to come. One, I don't charge because I feel it's sort of my way of giving back. But if you're more interested in like personal involvement in CEO school, that's possible. For 99% of us, it's going to be something that we do by phone and by email. We can do a video chat too, just most people aren't too into that. But so CEO school, what is it? It's really intended to be, you're struggling to set up a business, or you've started one and you're struggling with it getting going or becoming productive or profitable or growing. I spent 3 years going to a CEO school put on by a guy named Keith Cunningham, and he's associated with Tony Robbins, and he runs a program called Keys to the Vault. And I don't know if he's still doing it, by the way. It's been years, been 10 years since I was there probably, but I spent 3 years, and he physically had to go. One, it was a lot of money. It was 30 grand a year, and he physically had to go to Austin, Texas 4 times a year. And it was brutal. He put you in groups of 10 to 15 CEOs. No one could be from the same industry. And it was pretty brutal. We were brutal on each other, and Keith was brutal on us. So I've taken some of the things I try to do from him. I really don't want to ever take Starting to Rain, by the way. I don't really ever want to take business from Keith. That would be stupid. But if you need help, like how do you set up a 12-month budget? How do you actually put a yearly budget together? How do you plan your P&L? How do you prioritize your actions? Then we put an action plan together, and then we follow up on it, whether it be daily calls or weekly calls or monthly calls. We can set that up, but it's mainly going to be me helping you, but you doing the work. I'll tell you where 99% of my students fall down is they just can't get their shit together and do what the plan says we're going to do. And we come back together at the next call or the next meeting, whether it be a week or a month or a quarter later, and most of the action never got done. I just didn't get around to it. I wasn't motivated. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I'm not going to be a motivator for you. The motivation is you got to face me at the next call without your shit getting done, and there's pressure there. But I'll teach you how to budget. I'll teach you how I did marketing, product development. Anyway, so anyway, it's out there. And if that's what you meant by the question, I just wanted to give you a real answer. If you're one of the ones that asked, I'd like to know more about the school, then I mean, the school is really a silly thing for me to say. It's just me meeting with people. But if you're interested, reach out. If you have questions, ask specific questions. If you'd like to know more, state would you like to know more. If you'd like more tidbits, like me just throwing them into these fireside chats, I'm perfectly willing to do that. So my CEO school tidbit for the video is you got to get your financial shit together. You cannot be living paycheck to paycheck. You can't have too much month at the end of the paycheck. You can't spend your money on stupid shit and start a business. It might mean moving to a different house. It might mean downsizing. It might mean selling a car. It might be selling all your cars and buying 2 cars for cash. It might involve some very, very difficult life downsizing decisions to get your financial situation ready. Because I don't care what you're trying to do, it will take longer than you think to get rolling and 5 times longer than you think to become profitable. When I started my company back in 94, it was 2 full years without a salary. It was the third year, not third week, not third month, not third quarter, third year before we could start taking money out of the company. So the CEO school tidbit of the night is get your shit together financially, pay off your debt, get those credit cards paid off and leave them paid off. Get your cars paid off, get all your debt paid off, and really just get it down to your house. I understand most of you probably have a mortgage so big you can't even think about paying the mortgage off. And then put some cash back. Can you live 6 months or a year without making money? Or can you do everything second shift? That's the other thing. Do you have a full-time job that pays you fairly well? You're going to do all this second and third shift, weekends and holidays. And very possible, but boy, does that take some personal guts and resolve to pull off. Well, hey guys, called the audible and put us on the front porch. Like I had too much cigar left to throw it away. So front porch smoke. Wow, we haven't done this. I can't even remember the last time. I don't even know. Have we done a front porch in 2024? I don't even know. Probably not, because everything was either fire pit or dog yard. Well, the dogs are all safely inside the house now. It's real rain, so decided to come out here. So I feel like I kind of rushed the end of that financial discussion. I was trying to get out of the rain. I didn't think of this option until I got into the house. You don't want to you don't want to start a second business, a side business, investing. You don't want to start day trading when you're in financial panic, because all it will do is cost you more money. You won't have money to capitalize your company or your side gig. If you're always under pressure to make bill payments, you need to fix that first. Most of the people I talk to, the biggest problem I have is their timeline. Like you're sitting here on December 15th and people are like, well, it's kind of hoping I could have something going by the end of the year, or certainly by the first couple months of next year. And I'm going to tell you, And at least in my experience, it doesn't go that way. It takes months. It can even take a year or two to get ready. You might have a couple of years worth of financial prep to do before you should even think about spending money trying to create a side gig. If you're so desperate to make bill payments, you need to cut the bills down. I know it's not popular to say, and there are probably people who completely disagree with me. He said you should start a side gig tomorrow, no matter what. The question is, if you have no money to make bill payments, if there's, like I said, that there's more month at the end of the check, what are you going to pay it with? How are you going to fund a project? How are you going to fund a product? How are you going to pay for the marketing? How are you going to pay for the advertising? How are you going to pay for the product? How are you going to pay for the distribution? At least in my world, it never made sense for people to start businesses when they were in financial straits. That's what a job is for. Get some basic income coming in, get some reliable income coming in, work a lot of overtime, work a lot of extra shifts, work 7 days a week, build up some cash reserves before you kick the pig of starting your own business. The other thing we'd focus on in CEO school is putting a plan together. And sometimes that can take weeks or months to get a plan together, because you're going to write the plan, not me. I'll advise you, but you got to write the plan, because it's got to be your plan, not mine. But I have found that 99% of my students fail because they can't stay on plan. They can't stay on their own plan. And I just have student after student after student fail out of school because they just can't stick to the plan, whether it be for one day, 1 week, a month, a quarter. They just can't do it. For some reason, there's not enough drive, there's not enough fear, there's not enough motivation. I always say your why isn't big enough if that's the case. I'll give you an example. A perfect example is someone I was working with for 3 years. She was really struggling financially, and we got our home refinanced like at 2.9%. She had a 35-year balloon payment mortgage. I never even heard of such things. So we got her refied out of that. We literally locked her in on pretty much the lowest day 3.5 years ago. It's her number one goal in life was to own her home outright. And so working with all the repayment calculators and all that, we came up with a 10-year plan. With what her mortgage balance was, if she didn't take any more debt out, if she didn't do a home equity loan or pull any money out of the house, based on her balance and what she could do, she made essentially double payments. You make the mortgage payment, and you make the principal payment again on top of that. She would own her home in 10 years. So it took a 30-year mortgage down to just under 10. But then last year she skipped 3 or 4 double payments, and this year she's already missed 4 or 5. So essentially she's turned a 10-year plan into an 11 or 12-year plan. And although it might not sound so bad, when you live a year of your life and you don't climb any closer to your goal, you begin to lose faith in your plan. And when you do that, you start ignoring all aspects of your plan. You end up living 1 year after another after another. You end up living the same year over and over and over again, not seeing any progress to your goals. So you just go, well, that plan didn't work, and you fall into the camp, well, I've tried everything and I can't get ahead in life. And the reason we fall off plan can seem so proper at the time, right? Oh, I need a vacation. My family needs a vacation. My wife needs a good anniversary. My kids need a good Christmas. My kids deserve a cruise. I deserve a new car. I'm tired of working 6 days a week. I'm tired of working extra shifts. I'm tired of doing 2 shifts a day, one for the job and one for my plan. But you start falling off the plan, and the wheels come off the plan very, very quickly. I found that I think the difference is the 1%ers, most of them can put a plan together and stick to the plan. and give up today's desires for tomorrow's goals. And if you're just not that kind of person, it's going to be very hard. I don't care what school you go to, who advisor you bring in. If you can't come up with a plan and then stick to it, it just doesn't matter. I find that most people are looking for a silver bullet. So they fall prey to people who say they're carrying around a basket full of silver bullets, and for only $1,000 or $10,000, they'll sell you the silver bullets. And I'm telling you, nobody's got a bag of silver bullets. I don't care what they say to you. I don't care what the resume looks like. They don't have silver bullets. You can learn techniques, you can learn tactics, you can learn specific things. Like I take courses all the time on cryptocurrencies and investing and day trading and option trading, and I pay for watch lists. I pay news amalgamators, but I don't look for anyone to sell me the silver bullets. That's something I have to do. The analogy is, if you want to lose weight, so you hire a nutritionist, guess what they're going to tell you? Stop eating this shit. Stop bringing McDonald's home. Stop bringing Chick-fil-A home. Stop eating at Taco Bell. Stop eating at these places. They're going to tell you, get rid of the carbs. They're going to tell you to focus on protein and fats. They're probably going to walk you towards a keto diet or a carnivore diet. They're going to, if you want to get stronger and fitter, so you hire a fitness coach, guess what they're going to tell you? You got to go to the gym. No shit, right? You got to go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, every week, and you can't wander around talking. You have to get on the machines. You have to lift the weights. You don't need anyone to tell you that. But we hire a fitness coach saying, well, maybe they've got a bag of silver bullets and it'll be easier if I have a coach. It's not. Sometimes it's the fact you hired someone and you're paying, so that it makes you go to the gym. But the fact is, you got to go to the gym. Maybe it makes it easier. You got a nutritionist staring down your food log once a week, but that doesn't change what you have to write into the food log to lose weight. Same thing with running a business, starting a business. You need to learn tactics. You need to learn how. But the execution, there's no silver bullets. It's put a to-do list together. It's manage your schedule. It's manage your time. It's do the things you don't want to do. It's do the things you don't want to do first. It's being willing to work a second shift every day. It's willing to work 6 days a week, 7 days a week, month after month, year after year. And I find most people fail because they just don't have the fear or the desire or the goal that is burning inside them, that makes them want to do stuff that 99% of people won't do. So if you come to my school, if you bring me on as your advisor, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be, let's put a plan together and hold you to task. Most of the meetings I have are pleasant personally, but very unpleasant professionally. One of my guys had a 4-month gap last year between product cycles, and I said, what happened here? Why 4 months and not a week or two? And his answer was, I don't know. I mean, you create a 4-month gap in a 12-month cycle, you're going to have problems. You have to be willing to do that self-introspection and say, I have what it takes, and I'm going to continue to have what it takes. I mean, day after day, week after week. It's a grind. It's nothing sexy. It's a grind. For me, a personal goal, something that I want very badly, is to help people become wealthy or at least become happy and close the gap between what they expect in life up here and what they have in life down here. That gap. I like helping people close the gap. Sometimes it means it reduces expectations. Sometimes that means it changes performance. If you do both, you can sew it together. I like helping people do that, but it's not fun. It's not pleasant. But if you would like help sewing that gap together, and you're one of the ones that asked about school, reach out to me. I'm glad to do it. I mean, I love doing it. It's just, it's going to be a lot of work. All right, guys, that's long enough. We got 30 minutes on the video. I know a number of you said you don't mind the long form content. I love making these. But let's go ahead and shut this down. I'll put all the pieces there together and get this loaded, get it uploaded to you. Guys, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had a great Sunday. I hope you have a good week planned out in front of you. You can't wait for life to bring you good. Life rarely brings us good unexpectedly. For some reason, life normally gives us bad surprises and not good ones. So you really have to, if you want a good week, you got to make it happen. You got to plan it out. If you want a great rest of the year, you got to plan it out. You got 3 weeks left. If you want a great New Year's, you got to plan it out. So hope you planned out a great week. I hope you're enjoying your Christmas week or Christmas season. For me, Christmas is not a day, it's a season. I love the decorations. I love that the world shuts down enough for my family to get together. We're having a great holiday season so far. So anyway, hope life is good for you guys. If not, let's make some changes. If you want some help making those changes, you let me know. That's it. May God bless you. May God bless your life. May God bless those around you. May God turn his ear to your prayers, and that means you're actually praying. May God make his face shine upon you, and may you get quiet occasionally so God can talk back. That's it, you guys. Probably talk tomorrow, which is Monday. Hope you have a good night. Good night, everybody.